Hello, everybody. Happy Tahiti Tuesday. We're actually in Bora Bora today. I am joined by Heather Morgan with the Westin Bora Bora. Heather, thank you so much for being here.
Yorana, thank you for welcoming me here. I'm really excited to show you everything new about the new Westin, and you've recently were able to visit us there, so you can feel free to pitch in everywhere that you see wherever we go through the presentation.
Fantastic. Yeah, I loved it. It was so beautiful.
Oh, it's so fun. Keep going.
Okay.
It's totally working.
Oh, good.
It's a new year, and we're trying a new platform. So if there's any technical difficulties, I'm going to blame McKenzie.
Yep, my fault.
So ask her to share and talk about it.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about when the resort, it's new. So tell me a little bit about what that process looked like for you guys.
Okay, yeah. So the Westin Bora Bora, obviously it's on the islands of Bora Bora. It just opened in September 2024. So it's only been open for a few months now. It's still kind of in a soft opening phase. There's a few little minor details that we're still waiting to introduce to the world. But as far as the bungalows and everything's concerned, everything is up and running, and any guest that comes today would not know that the resort has a couple things that we're still waiting on. When we opened, we were shut down for this footprint was shut down for about 3 years. It was the former Le Méridien. So if you're familiar with the Le Méridien, you wouldn't recognize it if you came today. It has been completely transformed, not just a renovation, but a full renewal. We added to the beach. The view that you see in front of you is part of the beach that they added on. So it actually has the longest and largest beach in the Bora Bora Islands. And everything was rebuilt from the ground up, which is why it took a little over 3 years before we finally opened. But what guests will see now is a completely new and modern, our version of French Polynesia. So it's located right next door to the St. Regis Bora Bora. The St. Regis is our sister property. Myself and most of our team, we represent both properties, and the properties between them two have shared amenities. So you can stay at one and visit the other, going back and forth. With that, it really opens up the whole world and the whole island of Bora Bora, because you get to see and experience so much more. So I think in the future, we're going to be doing a presentation just strictly on the St. Regis. But today I really wanted to focus on the Westin. It's the new hot baby that everybody wants to learn about. And I'm really happy to share it with you today.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So if you like, I could just start going through some of the information here that I have to share.
Yeah, excited.
I mean, I love this opening shot. This is the beach that you arrive into. You can see the two, we call them like the arms reaching out to hug you, because that's the entry straight there in the middle. As you enter the resort onto the docks, that's how you arrive. And you could see Mount Antamano. I never know if I'm saying that right, but I think I am.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Mount Antamano is extremely close to where the bungalows are. So the Le Méridien was the actual first resort built in Bora Bora. And so when they picked the location for it, they picked the best location with the best view of the mountain. And from some of those bungalows, I remember showing you, McKenzie, when you visited, it almost looks like you could swim to the main island there. You can't and don't, but it feels like you can. So let me go to see if this video will play for us here. There's no sound on the video, but this was kind of our first aerial shot. We're always gathering new photos and new images for it. But this kind of video gives you a lovely overview of the resort. So the arrival to Bora Bora, I'll just take you through the steps. So for example, I am based out of Los Angeles. And in California and along the West Coast, there's 3 direct flights to take you into Tahiti. So it's a very easy flight to get into. I started representing this resort early last year, and I had no idea where it was. It just was a dream location in the back of my head with these overwater bungalows. Yeah. And the arrival, there are direct flights from Seattle, San Francisco, and LAX. So I fly out of LAX. It's an easy 8-hour, a little less than 8-hour flight. You fly into Papeete. From Papeete, you catch a little hopper plane over to the islands of Bora Bora. It's in the same airport. And so basically most flights leave right around midnight. By 8 a.m., you have your toes in the sand. You don't miss a day in travel. You don't cross an international date line. We're on the same time zone as Hawaii, and kind of follow the same weather patterns as Hawaii. So if you're curious about the best times to go, think of when you like to go to Hawaii also. We're just below the equator. So the water is warmer and everything else there. You don't need to see it again. There we go. Oh, so here, this is what I was talking about. Some of the direct flights there to make it easy to get there. So once you take the little hopper plane from Papeete over to Bora Bora, it's a 45 to 50 minute flight, and it's actually, that flight feels like your first excursion. It really does feel like something you pay for, even if you weren't using it just purposely for travel. Yeah. So I always say when you get in, you want to sit on the left side of the plane if possible, but really you're going to get incredible views from both sides of the plane, and you fly right over the waters there into Bora Bora, and it's just the most magical and beautiful. Everybody has their phones out. On the plane, you just see people like embracing and like pinching themselves. They can't believe they're actually here of this magical little place that they've seen in the back of their head for their, since you've been dreaming about going to some magical paradise. And so an easy landing there at the Bora Bora airport. And that's where our team from the Westin Bora Bora, we have a kiosk set up right there in the airport. We welcome you with the traditional Polynesian welcome with the flower welcome. And then we help you get your bags and we put you on a boat, and it's a little 20-minute beautiful boat ride over to the Westin Bora Bora. Yeah. Yeah. So you'll agree with me. This is the experience back. Yes. I've been lucky enough to travel to a lot of places, and usually the vacation doesn't start until you get into your hotel room. But here it really feels the moment that you arrive in Papeete even that you are already in paradise. Absolutely. Yeah. It's so pretty. And I always say you get off the plane initially and it's like, it smells like flowers everywhere. Yes. It just is amazing. It's perfect. Okay. So here's your overall map of the Westin Bora Bora. You can see it's laid out in a very kind of easy way to navigate around the resort. Some of like our St. Regis Resort, I get lost there every time I'm there. Here, it's very easy to navigate. So you arrive in through the center there, and everything between the two arms of where Overwater Bungalows are, it's all kind of centrally located in this hub. So it's very easy to get around, and you can see those arms of the bungalows extend very far out, which is why we have this really amazing bicycle program. There's bikes all over the resort, and wherever you see one, it's yours. You can leave it out in front of your bungalow, and that's your bike to take back and forth and ride around the resort and see everything. Yeah. And for those that don't bike, our concierge team is really top notch, and you just give them a call and ask for a ride, and they're there within 5 minutes. I don't know how they do it, but they're always there. Yeah. So I want to show you a little bit about the Overwater Bungalows. We have 128 Overwater Bungalows. So with the opening, we did add 44 new Overwater Bungalows. They are the same footprint as what the previous hotel was. We couldn't change the dock size, but the interior of the rooms are completely reconfigured. I like to think of them as like your studio apartment. When you walk in, everything is all in one room. You have these giant glass bottom floors with lights that you can turn on and off. And I think they call it Tahitian TV, which I thought was really cute. You could sit there and watch the water right underneath you. And then it's one large room with this giant king bed. It's a Westin Heavenly bed. That's an incredible night's sleep. And it faces out to your private deck. And you can see your private deck there. We have them with 3 different views, the lagoon, the island, and the Antamono views. You can't go wrong with any view, really. I know that some clients are insistent that they have to have them on the mountain view. But you can see the mountain from everywhere on the resort. So no matter which direction you're facing or looking, you're just going to have these incredible blue waters that it's unreal. Throughout the day, you see like 20 different shades of blue in the water. And then as the sun changes or the sun sets, it just changes colors throughout the day. And it's just like a miracle to watch.
Yeah, it is so fun to try and describe the blues as well. For that really neon blue, I always say it looks like Powerade or Gatorade.
Okay.
So it's fun to describe all the different colors, but there are so many.
Yeah, and when the sun is shining in different locations, the sparkles from the water, and it really feels endless because you're really in your own little sanctuary paradise there. There's no adjoining walls with somebody in the room next to you. Yeah. Everything, it's a very private and small experience, which is why the rooms, they're 1 and 2 bedroom configurations. The majority of them are 1 bedroom that are made for 2 people. You can also put a baby in the room with you, but if there's more than 2 people, we always recommend getting 2 bungalows side by side, and each of you will have your own private experience.
Perfect.
Here's some more views of the room, so you can see what I was talking about with the studio kind of apartment look. Everything is all set up with your couches on one side. Many of the rooms, especially in the starting category, they have a tub in that corner there where you see there's a TV pop up. There's actually a really large bathtub in front of the windows, so you can bathe while looking at the view. There's an outdoor shower. You can shower out there. I mean, it's your own private oasis. You could do whatever you want in your own space there. Just more different views of some of the rooms there. There you can see the tub there that's right in front of the windows, and then some. I think on the right there, you see the beach bungalows. We have 14 beach bungalows, and they're all within one big circle with their own private lagoon in front of them. It's a perfect place, especially for group business, because they're all kind of all in one line all together. And in the center, there's an Overwater hospitality bungalow, which is where we say if you're on the group side of business and you fill up those bungalows with all your clientele, now you have one dedicated space for your guests to check in with you and find their itineraries and all that fun stuff too.
Totally.
I will mention those beach bungalows, while they are fully ready and open for people, we don't have them open yet online. We're thinking within the next 3 months, those rooms are going to open up. The only reason being is because some of our ecological projects are going on behind where the bungalows are, and we don't want anybody ever disturbed by any kind of noise that reminds them of reality.
Yeah, fair. Very fair.
So here's the beach bungalows I was mentioning. Those come in 1 and 2 bedroom configurations. This one that you see here on the top, it's actually 2 king rooms within the center room is like your living room and common space area. But it's so very private with your own beach out in front. I was very surprised how many people actually preferred to be on the beach rather than over water at some of our resorts here. They've like, okay, I've done that. Now I want to have my own private beach and just walk out to the water whenever I feel like it and go for a canoe.
Definitely.
With the canoes out on the beach.
Susan is one of those clients.
It is. And I've stayed in both and I adore both. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Plus it's a shorter walk. Some of those
that's true.
overwaters are very far out.
I was not prepared for that. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. That's why I like the bikes though. The bikes are so helpful for that. I definitely did not, the first time we had the bikes, I did not utilize them. But then the first time I did at the second resort we went to, I was like, oh, I'm using these for the rest of the trip. They make everything so nice.
Yeah, I think I have on my Instagram page, I've got like 4 videos of me putting the bike up on my basket and just riding around the resort in paradise. I mean,
That's so cute.
yes, I returned home from there about 3 weeks ago and I said, oh, I love waking up in the morning and riding a bike. I'm going to get a bike here at home.
Not the same?
No, not the same. Definitely wasn't as fun.
No, probably not.
So I want to talk about some of the dining options here. Tipanier is the first restaurant listed there. That is where you have your breakfast every morning. It's a buffet style breakfast with a laid out amazing display of foods, and then a whole chef's kitchen behind it that's making hot and fresh food and putting it out. And they'll ask you, how do you want your eggs prepared? And they'll bring that to you. And there's a juice of the day there. And it just has a really lovely view. It looks out onto the own little lagoon there. That's open for breakfast and dinner. And it's also the location of our Polynesian night. We did a different take on the Polynesian night where it actually happens indoors. And so I don't know, did you get a chance to see it when you were there, McKenzie?
I didn't. I was so bummed because I know you said yours, I remember you saying that yours felt a little bit more special, not to, because there was, what were you mentioning about that obviously it's the indoor?
Yeah. I think I showed a video where these beautiful dancers were just right in front of the table and really incorporating you into the show. It's not just them back all the way behind you performing and you're clapping. Really, you're in the show with them. It's very immersive and you really get up close and personal. You can actually read the lettering on their tattoos. It's a really, really great experience. And that happens indoor here, and they go all along the Tipanier and makes for a really great, incredible show. And the way they tell the story about the heritage and the history of French Polynesia, there's just so much to learn. I'm still every day trying to read more and learn more about how this beautiful country came to be and all the interesting cultures and language and everything that they share with you through their food, through their stories, and through their dance. It's a really great experience.
And what day of the week were you saying that the show was going on?
So Westin has them on Thursday evenings.
Perfect.
As part of the show. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you.
The other restaurant I like is the Bora Bora. This is open for lunch and dinner. It's a Mediterranean cuisine, but really has kind of a little more American feel. This is where you can get some really good salads, good burgers. Love the burgers there. And really light and fresh food. So it's an alternative to going to dinner at Tipanier, which is not a buffet dinner. It's a served meal. Bora Bora has a little more casual option. It's half indoor, half outdoor. So you can sit either by indoor, there's no walls. So you're indoor, you're covered anyway. Yeah. Or you can sit out with your toes in the sand and just look out onto that lagoon. And it's a really beautiful view. Our signature restaurant, our fine dining, is called Mahir. You're laughing at me. I know.
No, it looks right to me. You did a great job with sounding it out. I love it.
Yes, this is a signature restaurant. It's really an incredible place to see the view. The restaurant is designed, there's only about 2 tables that sit 4 people, but it's designed for tables of 2. And it has a menu that changes every single day because our chefs are crazy. I sat down with the chefs prior to opening and wanted to know what the plan was. And it was supposed to be a half-hour meeting that was almost 3 hours because they're so excited and passionate about the food. They couldn't stop talking about it.
Oh, I love it.
So Mahir is their signature restaurant. It's open 4 nights a week. Like, for example, it's not open on the night that we have the Polynesian dinner because the noise would be intrusive. So this is supposed to be a very romantic experience. This is where you propose, gentlemen, right here in the end. Okay.
Oh, that's perfect.
Here are also some of the bar lounges that we have. The OA bar, it sits on top of the pool bar. So it's got a really incredible view. You can see it looks right out there onto the mountain. Am I talking too much? I know we're probably on a time.
No, not at all.
Because I tended to go on and on. I love it so much.
Not at all.
But it's a beautiful place to sit out there on the edge. I could show you 40 pictures on my phone of me like cheersing Mount Antamano every evening as the sun goes down. It's a really beautiful rooftop being one story, because nothing in French Polynesia can be above two or three stories max, based on the law that no resort can be higher than the temple of the land, the church of the land. So you'll never see giant high-rise buildings. This Bora Bora is meant to be a very private and personal experience. So there's nobody there.
Yeah.
When it feels like when you're there, you can feel like you're the only person there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Ho'a is a nice place to experience that. Hanotiki is the beach bar. You can see the cool little swing set there. And then we have Te Ava, which is the swim-up bar that's open all day. At Hanotiki, there's about 10 cabanas that surround the pool and look out onto the waters. And those are available first come, first serve. So right now, there's not even a fee for them. I say right now because eventually,
Yeah,
it probably will be.
fair enough.
My favorite thing to talk about at the Westin, I think the thing that really sets us apart from the other resorts, and it's definitely a must-see, is the Eco Center here in Bora Bora. This Eco Center was started in 2001 by Le Méridien, and it's a complete rescue, rehabilitation, and release program for these incredible sea turtles. Year to date, they've rescued over 700 sea turtles they care for. And so when you're there, you get an opportunity to go and visit them. You can speak to the marine biologist on site, and they'll tell you the history of the turtles and where they found them. I intimately got to know 3 turtles there that I'm absolutely in love with, and one of them already got released. Yeah, it was incredible. He was found floating in the Polynesian, and anytime they find a sea turtle injured or in distress, they'll bring him here to the Eco Center, and they figure out what's wrong with them and get them all back in shape. And so you can go visit them in the Turtle Center. There's a little aquarium that you can visit with all the local fish. There's a touch aquarium, and there's different activities that you can sign up for while you're there at the Eco Center. You do a turtle feeding, a chef for the day, where you actually get to cut up the food and feed it to all the turtles there, and different things you do. Live My Life, which is you get to spend a day in the life of the marine biologist and go through the day with them. I think the funnest thing that I saw them do was they take the turtles out of the turtle hospital and they release them to this glass. You see this glass wall here. Mm-hmm. This is their own private lagoon, and they release them out there to get their exercise, to build up their energy, and they get to spend all day swimming there. So you can go visit them while they're swimming. And then right about 4 o'clock, that's their dinner time. So the marine biologists have to dive into the water, catch them if they're lucky, and put them back in their in the turtle hospital. It was really, really fun to watch, because one guy, he was like ready to go and they could not keep up with him. And it was really true. But it's an immersive, it's a magical experience. We have a really cool, there's a museum portion of the Eco Center, and there's like the gift shop portion of the Eco Center that has a bunch of turtle memorabilia, and 100% of the proceeds from the gift center and from all the activities you can book, all of that goes right back into the turtles. It is not a profit for the hotel. It's just completely just the Eco Center there. So it's really something, even if you're staying in another resort and you can find time to get over there and see it, it's something you'll really never, ever forget. You happen to be there on a day that a turtle's released, I mean, it's a full Moana cry experience that they get to see.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite things for sure. One of my top highlights of the trip.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
I think I got to meet the turtle that was just released because I remember them saying when we were there he was being released the next week. So that makes me happy. Yay!
Yes, yes. That turtle, he was found with plastic that he had eaten from the bottle caps of soda cans that was stuck in his esophagus and was causing him not to be able to eat. They were able to get it out of him, but it totally changed my whole idea of like save the turtles, straws, and plastic. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Now that I've seen it in real life, it really does. Really close to home.
Absolutely.
Here's some other things that you can visit while you're at the resort. The Heavenly Spa and Fitness Studio. One of the new things with becoming a Westin branded, if you're familiar with the Westin brand, they follow the elements of eat well, sleep well, move well, be well, work well. We don't work there. Live well. Those are some of the foundations. And of every Westin I've worked at around the world, which I've got to represent many, this one embodies the feeling of leaving feeling better than when you arrived more than any Westin I've ever seen. So it starts out at the Heavenly Spa. I was able to get a treatment on my last time there. It's something I just kind of slid in, and I found it to be like one of the top 5 massages I've had in my whole life because of the overall experience with everything and the sights and the sounds and the smells. They really make sure they hit every sense, and it's a really beautiful spa to see too.
Yeah.
The fitness studio, I think we visited it when you came. It's a very, very large fitness studio that looks out onto the private lagoon where the turtles swim. So there's no people swimming through there. It's just the turtles, which is kind of a really cool way to work out if you choose to do so. I like it because it has like the best air conditioning.
I was going to say that air conditioning was fantastic.
So it's a way to cool down, or if you really want to work out, if you're into that kind of thing on vacation, there's a spot for you there.
Perfect.
So here's the swimming pool. You could see the footprint of it. It's the largest swimming pool in Bora Bora. And then you've got the beach with those little umbrellas and chairs all ready set up for you to enjoy any time of day. Our concierge team sets up your pillows. There's no charge for this. It's just go as you go. And you can see the swim up bar there on above the pool. That's where you can swim up and get your drinks. And then you see the wood on top. That is the OA bar on top of the swim up bar, which is the beautiful place to see the sunset.
Yeah, perfect.
So you can see as we go through some of the pictures of the resort, they really took a modern take on French Polynesia, bringing in a lot of white, a lot of light, and all the wood that you see is all natural wood that comes from the island itself. Everything is very locally sourced. This reception here, it's kind of hard to see in that photo there, but the back wall of the reception is this etched art piece that extends all along the wall, and it actually tells the story of the French Polynesian history and culture through symbols in the wall. So if you can read it, then you can see that too. For activities, honestly, when you book your clients or you book yourself to come visit here, we have a 65-page activity book full of things that you can book and do. You could do absolutely everything, land, air, and sea activities, or you can do absolutely nothing at all and nobody will judge you, because that's what kind of trip this is. You could do it all or you could do nothing. You don't even have to book some of the things. There's cultural activities that take place every day that are all included, like making your flower crowns, or I think I saw them making these really cool frames that you put your photo from your trip in, and that's all complimentary. Lots of fitness classes of things that I'd actually want to do, like the paddle yoga. I watch them do that every morning. I stretch with them from my own balcony, but each their own. And the run by Westin is a Westin element. And some people take it very, very seriously there. And they have like run challenges and guided runs every day. So feel free to do that if you like. I'll watch. And anything non-motorized equipment-wise, it's all kind of already for you to use on the beach. You just can go up to one of our beach boys and say, hey, I want to go out for a kayak. And they'll push you out to sea. And rum and wine tasting at the OA bar in the evenings. It's kind of a great way to end your day of activities or non-activities.
Yeah.
So this is what I was mentioning. Lots of things to do. I think snorkeling, you got to snorkel when you were there.
Yes.
It's beyond incredibly beautiful. Like every color in the world, you start to wonder like, where even am I? It's
yeah.
Great experience. My favorite is the Shark and Ray tour.
That's what I did.
Is that what you did? Oh,
yep. It was amazing.
I mean, not only are you going out and you're visiting the rays and you can swim with them and pet them, and then you go out past the protected lagoon into the ocean waters and swim with the reef sharks that are friendly.
They are.
But you really get to see the whole island because they go all around the whole island in a circle around the main island. And all the providers are multi-generation Tahitian families. So they are sharing their story with you. At one point, he took out a ukulele and sang us a song. And I mean, I just lost it. I cried.
Side note, how is every French Polynesian like musically talented? They can all dance. I'm so jealous.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I totally agree. It's completely part of the culture, and they speak Tahitian, French, and English. So
yeah.
I'm just a girl from California with one language, so I definitely admire.
Yeah, me too.
that there. Oh, and that is really all I have to talk about today. This is my contact information. As I mentioned, I'm based out of Orange County, California, so you could consider what time zone I'm in. And I directly connect with my team in Bora Bora and visit there about once a quarter or whenever they say, hey, we need somebody to, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I
was very lucky that Heather gave me the tour while I was there. It was my very first time, and she's just so passionate about her property. And she was like, I just can't believe I'm here. And she's walking around and she's got this like perfectly windblown like island hair. It is just such a beautiful resort. And it was one of my favorites and one of the ones that stuck out to me quite a lot while I was there. I got to see a lot of properties, and this is one that I really felt stuck out to me because it is so different than the other resorts in that you do have a more modern take on it. It is a lot more of those light tones. But I think it's beautiful. I love the Turtle Hospital. Oh, they were my favorite. But Heather, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. It's so fun revisiting. And I cannot wait to go back.
Absolutely. You're welcome anytime. And Susan, you as well. I know that you're on the sidelines there eating your popsicle, but
she is. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Maru.
Maru. Bye.
Bye.